Welcome back to another episode, Nazaretos episode. This is 2017 Lexus RX 350. We did the front brakes. Now we're gonna do the rear brakes. And this has an electronic motor in there. So we have to retract the piston. So this Lexus has electronic parking brake. And on this model 2017, you cannot put the vehicle in a service mode for the rear brakes. You have to just turn off the parking brake, and then we're gonna use the battery to retract the motor on the back. So put the car in accessory position like this, hit it twice, and then hold the brake pedal and push this thing down, and then the rear brakes are off. We want this to be off like the way it is now. There's no red light. Now turn it off, and then let's try it again. Once we're gonna put the vehicle in a accessory position, let's see if this light is on. See, when the light is not on, there's no red light. That means we disengage the parking brake, emergency parking brake. So we held the brake pedal down, and we push this button down, and until we hear on the back little sound. So now we can work on the back. Now we're gonna go to the next step. So we're gonna break these bolts loose. We have the security bolt, and now we're gonna break this one loose first, and then we're gonna remove the remaining lug nuts. This is the security bolt, and for that you need a special tool to remove it. Let me show you. You need this special tool to remove the safety bolt, and you can find it in your trunk somewhere hidden. So since we disengaged the emergency parking brake, just put something under the tire, whether you have a brick or chalk or anything, and now we can go work on the other side. I'm gonna lift the vehicle right here. Right there, there's this little lip right here. Put the jack over there and start lifting. Yeah. Keep going. Good. All the way up. Until this wheel is in the air. Very nice jack, XLS 3000 professional floor jack. Very strong, 3 ton. I love using that. All right, it's good. For safety, we put this jack stand right here. Car is sitting here. You gotta put something on that side to secure the wheel. I remove the remaining lug nuts. There you go. Yep.
That's gonna hit
with a foot or whatever.
and that's it. And then easy
Put it
peasy.
under the car or whatever you want. Now guys and girls, you see this is a motor here. This whole unit, we gotta disconnect this. There's this connector right here. We gotta push it on this little pin and disconnect it. You have to disconnect this connector, push it here, and that's it. Put it on the side here. This is our motor. And now what we're gonna do, we have to take the 14 millimeter to remove these bolts, one on top here and one bottom here. You need an open wrench to hold that bolt and a 14 millimeter socket to start unscrewing that bolt. See, that's what we're doing. We're gonna remove these bolts. Same thing on the bottom. Hold that open wrench. I'm using 11/16 and the 14 millimeter socket from the outside. We're just going to remove these bolts. Now we remove these bolts here on the top, on the bottom. Now what we can do, we can take this caliper and swing it out. Let's see. See, it's moving. Okay, so we're gonna take this caliper and swing it out like this. These are brakes. They are thin. Look, zoom in closer. Okay, look at these brake pads. This one looks okay. Let me show you exactly. You see this part? It looks like it's okay, but the inner one is thinner. It's more worn out. So we're gonna remove these brake pads. But first, also I want to show you this motor. You see this caliper, this piston. Let me see. It's pushed out like this. You see, like this. We will have to connect right here. Connector, like 12 volt or 9 volt battery. Positive here, negative here. And it's gonna, this motor is gonna spin and retract the motor. Then we can push the piston back. I remove the brake pads, this one, the outer one, and let's look at it. See, it's not bad. It still has a lot of life left, but we're just gonna replace it. Put this one on the side. Then also remove the hardware, just like we did on the front. Always put a new hardware. The top, the bottom. Just remove the inner pad. There you go. Let's look at that. You see this one a little bit much thinner than the outside one. So we're gonna replace it. Put it here. Also remove the hardware. Remove the hardware. Make sure this area is clean. You can use a brush or just use a brake cleaner. Just clean this, get rid of all the dust and everything. I prefer to use a brush here. That's pretty good, both sides. So now we remove the pads, we remove the hardware. Now we're gonna also remove the top bolt, the sliding bolt. Just pull the thing out. We're gonna clean it and lubricate it. Very important. Let me see how it looks. It's not bad, but yeah, we gotta lubricate it. So clean it and then lubricate it. We have this synthetic brake component lubricant, also came with our brake pads. We're gonna open it up and lubricate those sliding pins. Very important. It's nice and clean. Now we're gonna lubricate it. There you go. Very important because you don't want the uneven wear on your brake pads. These pins need to slide nicely. Reinsert the bolt. Twist it, twist it. There you go. And now the same thing on the bottom. Try to twist this. See this lower one a little bit more seized. It's coming, I can see it.
No, no. Pull.
Just put enough grease on a bolt and spread it around. It's a nice green one. Reinsert the bottom bolt, push it in so the rubber gasket's nicely sitting. Beautiful. Our BOSCH brake pads for this vehicle. This is the number on the side, BE1879H. Hardware kit included, ceramic brake pads. We also have a hardware included, and we're gonna reinstall brand new hardware. Okay, one, then go on the top. Now you can put some grease on the bottom of here, but we're not doing that. I'll take the top one and reinstall the top one, but you see the orientation of this little pin or whatever little thingy, it goes from the inside to outside. Same thing on the top. This is on the inside, and then same thing on the top. Yeah, it's good. Beautiful. Hardware installed. Now we take our brake pads. This was the outer brake pad, and we're gonna compare it to the new one. See, this is the new brake pad, and this is the old brake pad. What we can do, we can remove this metal piece and install the one that was original here with Lexus. We're just gonna swap it out. So we're gonna take a flathead screwdriver, pop this out. So we're gonna remove this hardware from this old brake pad. See, it has like 2 plates, and we're gonna install it on the new pad. All right, that's it. Remove that plate. There you go. Take this one, Lexus one. Before we installed it like this, let's see. Before we install it like this, we're gonna take some of the grease and put that grease over here. Take some of the grease and put it on the pad. You don't have to put a lot. It's just so there'll be no noise, no squeaking or anything. And now we're gonna take this one. Just push it in. And also, before we put this one on, we're gonna put a little bit grease as well here. Yeah, put a little bit more here. Good. We're gonna take this bracket and we're just gonna push it in. Click, click.
It's good.
See, it's good, and it's moving, and there's this lubricant on between these plates, and it's nice. And also there's this things to stop the metal plates from going out, so it's good. So do you see on the old brake pad we have this hardware that's sitting on the top, and it's gonna go right here. One of these is gonna go right here.
It's gonna be.
So take this, and that's how it looks.
Yeah, it's good.
Good. Now we take the inner brake pad and we're going to do the same thing, taking all these plastic things out, or these are metal ones. Make sure you get the right inner pad. You see there's this cut sideways, and this is the old one. The inner pad also goes like sideways. So this is your pad, the inner one. Good. I'm gonna take this and just push it in. So I put some grease here. I'm gonna spread it around. You don't need to put a lot. And now we're gonna put this metal bracket on the top. Just push it in like this. See? You can clean it if you want, all this stuff. You can take a brush or whatever, just clean all this. So this is our inner pad, and it's ready to be installed. Make sure this is at the right angle, just like the old one. This is the inner, and this is the outer. Don't forget this piece of hardware. It goes on the top here, like this. You just push it in. You see? And these brake pads are ready to be installed. It's a very good idea to put some grease here on the outside where the piston is going to come out. Just put it right here a little bit, spray around. Install the pad. The bottom, just do like a little bit at the angle so it slides in like that, and then align the top. Just push it in.
Yeah, good.
Good. So here's the thing, if the brake pad is not going in easy, you have to file down the top. Like you see the top right here, you have to take a file and just start, because you don't want these brake pads to be seizing. See, these BOSCH are a perfect fit for this vehicle. Okay, we installed the pads, all the hardware properly sitting, all the metal pins and everything. Same thing on the inside. Everything looks great. These are beautiful brake pads. All we have to do, take our caliper and take the motor. We have to like, how do you call that? Rewind the motor before we can push the caliper. All right, so you need to buy these Alligator clips. I bought them on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description. You can use 9-volt battery or 12-volt battery, connect plus to plus. But here's what we got to do. You see this connector right here? They're like little pins. We will have to put the positive one on the right side and then the negative one on the left side. I will explain what's going on. Okay, just like this. And this motor, so there's a motor here. We're gonna apply voltage and it's supposed to wind back and then we can push this piston in. I took my jumper box, plus to plus, negative to negative. See, plus to plus, this is to the plus, this is negative side. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna attach this one and the motor is supposed to be making noise and rewind. Okay, watch here. You hear that? Okay, now let's see if we can push this piston back. Yeah, I can push this piston right now with my hand. So we have to go all the way until the engine, the motor doesn't make any more sound. So let's do it again. Okay. Okay, so the motor is rewinding. So we gotta go all the way to the end. Keep going, it's gonna stop. Okay, now it's stopped. Now what we're gonna do, we have this special tool. You see the compression tool for our piston. Now screw it in. Yeah, you see, now it's moving. Now the piston is it hard or no? Easy, right? Now it's going. Now if it gets harder, you have to stop and we have to retract the motor more. All right, cool, very good. Okay, stop now. We can disconnect this now. So now I disconnected the wiring, the Alligator thing, and we were able to push the piston back, very easy. But this rubber, I'm just gonna push it back, but make sure you do not tear this rubber. After we compress the cylinder, this rubber piece is gonna be sticking out a little bit, but that's okay. So let's swing it over, like swing it over, like that. Bring the caliper over and now take the top bolt and install the top bolt. Good. And we're going to tighten it later. Now let's get the lower one. Take our socket, 14mm socket, and open wrench. We're going to put an open wrench right here and a socket over here. We're going to tighten it. Now the proper torque, I will list it for you. I believe it's 29 foot-pound. And just secure the bolts. Yeah, there you go. Now it's sitting. Okay, good. Secure that bolt. And now we're going to tighten this one on the top. Okay, put your open wrench on the top. Because it's spinning, you know, that other part is spinning, so you have to have an open wrench. Let's actually goes by hand. We have to tighten it, I believe, to 30 foot-pound. I will list it in the description. Okay, now it's tight by hand. Let me do this by hand. Okay, it's good. Very important step. Once these bolts are secured, very, very important step. Do not forget about this connector. You have to click it, and you hear the sound. Click. Very good. So double check your work. Make sure all the hardware is in place. Make sure the pads is installed correct way. Make sure these are lubricated and tight, about 30 foot-pound. This one. And another thing, very important, are these alligator clips. On the driver's side, the red one goes to the right and the black one goes to the left. So there's like little connectors, the right. So if you don't do it correctly, the piston is just gonna pop out. So make sure you first try it and then try to compress the piston. If you can compress it, that means you're doing it right. And hold these connectors and make sure the motor stops spinning. When it stops spinning, that means you retract it all the way. Now, before we install the wheel, we have all this rust. We're just gonna clean it. We have a brush. It's a good idea to clean it, make it look nice. Nobody ever worked on this car before. This is 2017. Even this castle nut is all like rusted in. Well, we're gonna clean it. Clean it good. If you have some power tools, you can just go with the power tools and clean it. Clean it as much as we could. Now we're gonna reinstall the wheel. Now fix this one and this one. One more, this one more. It's good. Good. Now we have this security bolt, lug nut, the last one. And you could put 80 foot-pound if you want to know. These are 80 foot-pound, all of them. Now you see the wheel is spinning because we don't have a rear brake applied. So once we lower the car, we can tighten out each bolt. So the lug nuts are secured. Now we're gonna lift the car higher and we're gonna remove that jack stand. All right, I think it's good. Higher, go higher. Okay, now you can slowly lower the car. Slowly. Okay, good. This is our passenger side, rear passenger. Positive one connects to this side and negative to this side. And then you will be able to push this piston in. On the other side, it was opposite way, remember? But on this passenger side, positive goes here, negative goes here. Like this. See? Just like this. And we put this stopper so the piston doesn't come out if it goes the other way. But let's turn it on. Now let's try pushing the piston in. Turn it in a little bit. Just a little bit, light. Okay, yeah, I see it's moving. Okay, good, stop. So yeah, the motor is connected the right way. Okay, hold it. All right. We're gonna do it until the motor stops. It has to completely retract. Okay, stop. Now we can disconnect these wires. So once you do not hear the motor retracting, it means it's stopped. And then you can compress. Do not twist it like that.
No, twist it.
Be careful. Okay, now keep compressing the piston. Turn. It's supposed to go a little light, not hard. Oh, don't forget the connector. Push it in until it clicks into place. That's it. And we're done with the rear brakes, brake pads. Turn the ignition on. Hold this. And then hold it. Okay, now let go of everything and the parking brake is on. Now we're gonna start our car and let's see. Hey, be careful back there. Be careful. I'm gonna put it in reverse, see if the brakes disengages. You see the brake disengages, and once you put it in park, the emergency brake engages. Very good. We finished the job. Okay, this is what I use as my 12 battery source. And these Alligator clips, I bought them on Amazon, very cheap, $4 for like 4 of them. And remember, on the passenger side, we connect the right one to the right side, the red one, and then the negative to the left. If you do it vice versa, the piston's just gonna come out, and that's not good. On the driver's side, say this is our driver's side, the rear. The red one goes on the right pin, and then the left, the black one goes on the left pin, like I showed you in the video. And then you just turn on the battery or connect it to the battery, and you're gonna hear the motor withdrawing, you know, retracting all the way to the end, and it's gonna stop. That's when you disconnect the connectors. Now, very important, do not forget to plug in the connector. Once you're done putting the brake pads, make sure you reinstall them, reconnect them, and then go inside the vehicle and reactivate your emergency parking brake, like I just did. Okay, we're going on a test drive right now, and the car is nice, stops very nicely, quietly. Nothing is vibrating, perfect. We replaced front brakes in the previous video, and then we just did the rear ones, and the car is perfect. Like, I'm braking, everything nice and even, smooth, beautiful. So now you know how to do brakes front and rear on 350 Lexus RX 350. Thank you for watching Nazareto's channel, and if you have any question, put them down below. Hit that like, hit the bell, subscribe, and I really appreciate you, and see you in the next video, guys and girls.